Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hi, everyone. My name is Karis. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the eternal, indestructible superpower of the cosmos. It's called astrology, baby. And if you're looking for the force and freedom to make your own choices in life, to live the life that you want to live, then you've come to the right place. And all you got to do is look up. This is our astrology for the week beginning Sunday, May 8th through Saturday, May 14th, 2022. Let's journey with astrology and take a look at how to connect with the stars, the energy, the planets for our week ahead. Now, we're starting off the week on Sunday, which is the sun's day, with crossing into a new threshold. We have the second quarter moon at 18 degrees Leo, ruled by the sun on the sun's day. And we're moving from second quarter to full moon. Now, as we move from second quarter to full moon energy, the power, it's a new level of power, and the power is getting stronger. It's intensifying. The second quarter moon at 18 degrees is when the moon in Leo, ruled by the sun, is making a 90-degree angle, a square aspect, which means action to the sun at 18 degrees Taurus, ruled by Venus. Now, this is the threshold crossover power cycle that we're in with this second quarter moon. There was a song called Coward of the County by iconic country music legend Kenny Rogers. And I love country music so much. I have such a passion for it. But in this song, the song is about a 10-year-old boy, and his dad is in prison, and he was always in trouble, always fighting the father. And before the father dies in prison, he says to the little boy, the 10-year-old kid named Tommy, "Please don't do what I have done. You don't have to fight. It doesn't mean you're weak. If you turn the other cheek, sometimes you don't have to fight. You don't have to fight to be a man." And so later on in the song, now Tommy, he doesn't get into fights. He lets things go. Tommy was probably a Taurus or a Taurus ascendant rising. But anyway, because he's real easygoing and lets things roll off his back, Tommy gets a reputation for being a coward. He doesn't fight. He took his dad's advice, which is very good advice, by the way. Walk away, turn the other cheek when you can. The father dies in prison, and after Tommy grows up, his girlfriend that he's in love with gets assaulted by 3 bully monsters in the county. And that's it for Taurus. That's it for Tommy. He goes to the bar to find these men. And when he enters the bar, he turns around, and the 3 men are there that assaulted his girlfriend. And they start mocking him and calling him a coward in the typical words. But you could have heard a pin drop when Tommy stopped and locked the door. By the time Tommy was done with those 3 monsters, and at the end of the song, not one of those men were left standing. And Tommy says to his father in his heart, "Please don't think I'm weak. I didn't turn the other cheek. Sometimes you got to fight when you're a man." Now, I'm telling you this song, and listen to the song if you've never heard it, by the way, Kenny Rogers, Coward of the County, because that song describes this moon in Leo square the sun in Taurus, second quarter at 18 degrees. It describes this perfectly, because Leo is the lion. It's courage. It's the heart. Leo is love, the ferocious, fearless love that you have for yourself. The ferocious love that you love, whatever it is that you do love. Leo rules the heart. If you watch a lion or see tapes or videos of lions, they're brave. their courage. And that courage comes from conviction. When you're convinced of something, if you really believe in something, you're convinced, you have a conviction. There isn't anything that anybody else could say or do to convince you otherwise. You have that courage because you have the conviction. The moon in Leo and the sign of Leo is about you having the conviction, the courage to love yourself ferociously, bravely, fearlessly. The moon in Leo at the second quarter moon is making a square again to the sun in Taurus, ruled by Venus. Taurus is about peace. Taurus is, I'm just hanging out and everything's chill and I'd rather keep the peace and not make waves. And it's a beautiful thing most of the time. But this second quarter moon in Leo square the sun in Taurus as we're crossing into a new level of power is about your dignity, your worth. That's also Leo. You having the compassion and love for yourself to take the action. It's a 90-degree angle. It's not about thinking or visualizing. It's about you taking the action, just like how the moon in Leo is squaring the sun in Taurus and saying, are you going to do something about this? Are you going to have the ferocious love for yourself to finally move, speak up, say something, take action? Taurus is earth. The earth signs like things to come to it. Taurus is like a mountain, doesn't want to move, doesn't want change. Again, Taurus would rather keep the peace, and that's a beautiful thing. But just like Tommy in Coward of the County, sometimes you got to get in there and fight. Sometimes you got to take action. And so this second quarter moon, as we're approaching the full moon in Scorpio, which is enough, death ended, enough already. Scorpio is very final, as you know. And in next week's podcast, I'll talk more in depth about this full moon. Eclipse, by the way, meaning something has to be eclipsed out of your life. An eclipse is a loss of life. Bye-bye. See you later. It's over. 25 degrees, which I will get to next week. But as we're crossing this threshold and moving towards the full moon in Scorpio, which is ending, Taurus takes in, Scorpio releases. This is about you looking at your life. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be as dramatic as the song Coward of the County. I'm just using that as an example that the person put up with it. And then when it gets to the point where it's no, where in your life, for you, what might seem like a simple little thing to other people could be a major deal for you. To simply speak up, to say no, to draw the boundaries in the sand, to leave that job that you know you hate and it's long past the time when you should have gone, to end the relationship, to basically say that, like the moon in Leo, nudging the sun in Taurus with a 90-degree angle, saying, take action, all right, get that fire in your belly, in your soul, get that ferocious, fearless courage, heart, conviction that says, I'm stopping this, it's over, enough. This is the power of the energy as we're building to that full moon eclipse. So think about and know, let it come into your awareness. This is how the power of the cosmos is trying to guide you, to show you, to put a huge light on where it is in your life that, one, you've got to admit to yourself, this is where I'm a coward. This is where I'm afraid. But this is exactly because I'm afraid of it. This is where I have to take action. This is where I'm not turning the other cheek this time and about this situation. Again, for some people, depending on what people have gone through, and we never know what someone is going through or has gone through privately. Sometimes it could be just simply to speak up in the present. And why Leo in the sun rules over vitality, health, creativity, aliveness, the excitement and joy of being alive, is because the conviction that you have to love and revere yourself, to regard yourself like Leo in the highest of esteem and worth. When you get that self-love, then not only will you feel more alive and excited and happy to be alive than ever before, but your health, your vitality, just like the sun, the enjoyment of life, the playfulness in life, you won't miss out on that, because when we squash down one emotion, we squash down all of them. We don't get to pick and choose what emotions we're going to keep and which ones we're going to put off to the side and pretend it's not there. It doesn't work that way. We're talking about holism, your humanity, how all parts of your humanity are necessary. And so when we look at this crossover point, this second quarter, as we're building to the full moon, and second quarter to full moon relates to the summertime. When there's more light, there's more energy. You're in the summertime, the full bloom of life. That feeling is second quarter to full moon. So being present means taking action, not letting it build like Tommy in the song for 20 years before it's the final straw. Do it now. Do it as we approach this profound full moon eclipse. Do this for yourself. Love yourself that much. Have ferocious compassion for yourself is what this second quarter to full moon in Leo is trying to highlight for you, trying to guide you, trying to show you. Now, as we go into the beginning of the week, we still have the moon in Leo. And on Monday the 9th, the moon in fiery Leo will make an opposition to Saturn at home in Aquarius. Now, Saturn at home in Aquarius is very strong. Saturn's in its domicile, its home sign, and it's in Aquarius, which is about an attitude, a mindset, communication. An opposition aspect, moon in Leo, opposition Saturn in Aquarius, is a separation. So a belief that you've held, especially the belief that you're not worthy. Moon opposition Saturn, that's going to go. Time to separate from that. An attitude, Saturn in Aquarius, a mindset that's been fixed, perhaps for a long, long time. The moon is opposing that, saying, nah, that's not really how I feel or what I really believe. It can be a cranky feeling as well, because the moon is not comfortable in fire signs. It's too hot. It's too fiery. And the moon is your body. It's how you feel, being in touch with your feelings. The moon is also the inner child, how you want to be fed and nurtured. And negative self-talk, negative attitudes, that doesn't make you feel good. It drains you of power. It doesn't give you power. A negative belief. We're looking at the moon in Leo opposition Saturn in Aquarius, which is the authority, the boundary. It can be because Saturn is a boundary. It could be a belief about something that you never thought you could go past that limitation, past that boundary. And now with the moon in Leo saying enough is enough. This doesn't feel good in my feelings, in my body. I'm going to separate opposition from that limited belief, thought, attitude, self-talk, communication that blocks you. This is how we're starting off Monday, the moon's day. On Tuesday, May 10th, Mercury at home in its domicile of Gemini, the communicator, the twin, is stationing retrograde. So we're going into our retrograde time, and it starts off in Gemini, which is to slow down and think about things in a different way, to look at things with new eyes, a new perception. And on the same day, Jupiter enters Aries. Hurrah! Hello. Jupiter in Aries. Jupiter being the kingly planet, the largest planet, Zeus in our solar system, king of the gods in Aries. Bold, fiery, let's get something new started. Courage, ruled by Mars. See how the planets love and guide you always? That you've made this decision at the second quarter moon, that you're finally going to take action about something that you've put up with probably for a long, long time, Sun in Taurus. And then Mercury retrograde in Gemini says, wait a second, I'm going to take a second look at that. I'm going to get more information. Maybe I'm not going to assume anything. And then Jupiter, the kingly planet, goes into Aries, which is the growth, because the job of Jupiter is to increase things. And so the growth, the increase, when it comes to your confidence, Aries, going back to what it is that you always and truly wanted, some action. Aries, cardinal, new, the baby. I'm going to get something started here. It's a new time. It's a new season. Aries ushers in the new year of the astrological wheel. And the new baby hasn't been conditioned or socialized or brainwashed yet to reject itself, to hate itself, to be shut down. It's bold. It's new. It's Aries. It's the baby. Children, when we watch babies and children, they just make us feel so good because they're what you see is what you get. There's no mask. There's no block. The inner child, when you're a baby, and the outer, they match. They're in sync, synchronicity. They're not separating and editing and giving you a false mask. They are what they are. And so look at this Jupiter in Aries. Right on schedule. This is how the gods work. To guide you, bless you, protect you. That's Jupiter. Also, because Aries has a lot to do with the appearance, fashion, your hair. Aries rules the head. One of the things you might think about that might sound silly to you is there a look, a fashion, a hairstyle you always wanted to wear or loved for whatever reason? Now you're going to do it. Years ago, there was a show called Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. I don't know if you remember this years ago, but a bunch of guys that were experts in fashion and food and design and this kind of thing, they would go to the rescue of some dude that, let's say, for 20, 30 years had the same hairstyle. And they would go and do a makeover cycle. And that abrupt and immediate change, it kind of shocked the person getting the new look out of a former dead old energy that hadn't been changed for years. Harmless enough, but it's about this Jupiter in Aries just trailblazing and shaking up the status quo the way it's always been done forever and forever. So this Jupiter in Aries, for some people, it might be as simple as, well, I was always told not to wear that or look this way. And again, here it is. It could be a shocking thing for you. It's an individual for each individual to just change a look after 20 years, let's say. But this Jupiter in Aries has come along at the perfect time to give you the courage and the increase. Jupiter increases things in a positive way to be like you're brand new again and having the courage to do that. It's different things for different people. But Jupiter in Aries is a wonderful thing because it's exciting, it's alive, it's fire. I say this all the time, it's enthos. That's a Greek word that means in spirit, to feel alive, like your spirit has come back. It's not a sad thing. Enthos is a very exciting, alive, like you got your spirit back. And that's what this is about. And so now as we go midweek to the end of the week, we're starting to go into what's called waxing gibbous moon. We're almost at the time of the full moon. So almost at the time of the full moon always means there's more room for growth. We haven't reached that exact full moon moment. And as we start to go midweek, moon is in Virgo, and then the moon will move into Libra on Wednesday, May 11th. The moon in Libra makes a really nice air trine flow to Mercury in Gemini. When the emotions and the thoughts are in harmony. And then the moon in Libra on Friday, which is Venus's day, makes a lovely air trine flow to Saturn in Aquarius. This is where your emotions can be very decided about. Yes, Saturn in Aquarius, this is the new way of building that I want to build. And on Saturday, the 14th, the moon falls into Scorpio, intense water, fixed water Scorpio. And we're almost at that completion moment, which I will get to in the next podcast, with that exact moment of full moon and eclipse. So as you thread and connect this whole week together, the week is starting off with the connection to where you're finding your courage, your bravery, because you have the conviction of fierce self-love for yourself. And you're not going to put up with something any longer. You're going to take action, 90-degree angle. And then we have the superpowers of the cosmos, Jupiter moving into Aries, Mercury slowing down, stationing retrograde and saying, wait a second, I think I got to take a second and third look at this. And then the moon does start to lighten up in Libra and make some nice air trine flows. Then moves into watery Scorpio as we're in waxing gibbous, the power almost full, the power intense, and the cycle of the moon where this is the full bloom and light of summertime, that second quarter to full moon. And so we're approaching this culmination of awareness of where something in your life is going to die. It's going to end. It has to. It's time to say goodbye. No more. Enough. And that's a beautiful thing, because there is no life without death. There is no growth in going to the next stage of life without letting something go, because its time has come. Again, it doesn't have to be as dramatic, of course, as the song I referenced. It could be as simple as, I'm finally going to move. I just did a reading today with an astrology client that has been living in New York. She hates it. She's a Capricorn. She hates it. And her astral map showed that her Jupiter, good luck and blessings, is all along the West Coast and right on San Francisco. And lo and behold, her company has offered her carte blanche to take a higher position in San Francisco, all expenses paid. And so a lot of the reading was about how the Capricorn, the way it's always been done, cautious, wants so badly to do this, but yet at the same time is afraid to do this. For her, that's a Herculean decision, because for her, Earth, to make a change, to leave the tried and true, even though the tried and true is misery. I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm chuckling at the irony of it all, that people will stay in misery where they know they're unhappy, miserable, they want to leave. And then here's how the universe works. The universe swoops down and offers this to her. It's not like she's trying to beat down a door that won't open. The universe is always loving and guiding you, always. If you'll just be open, at least, to taking a look at what's around you. So anyway, that just happened today before I'm recording this week's astrology. I mean, how much more clearer can it be that this was offered to her? And by the way, it's going to have a happy ending because she's going to say yes to that offer. And it's a very big deal when someone has a lot of Earth and, you know, have things in the chart like Capricorn, where this is not just an easy, whimsical, oh yeah, move to San Francisco and be sure to wear flowers in your hair, by the way, I told her. She's going to go, and it's the best thing for her. And she will see that, you know, it will have to be proven to her realistically and common sense wise, but she'll see that after she's there. It's the right move. It's all over the place in the chart and everywhere else. But I'm just using this as an example because that's what this, as we're approaching the second quarter to full moon, that's what this is all about. So whatever it means for you, that moon in Leo is making a square, a 90-degree angle to the sun in Taurus, saying, come on already, will you make a change? It's wonderful to keep the peace whenever, wherever we can, but sometimes we have to kick up a fuss about something and take action. So this is our beautiful astrology for the week, and the superpower from the cosmos that always loves you and just guiding you. All you got to do is look up, be open to the messages. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology. I will see you all in the stars. Thank you.